How's it going, Chiefs? This is Jalen here again today from Blue Angels Gaming, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another episode of a Clan Games Rewards suggestion video. So before we get into this, I do want to make it clear, after the last video that I made on this topic, I had some people give me their opinions and whatnot, and I just want to make it clear that this is just my suggestions, what I find to be the smartest, and also kind of the thought process that I put behind picking out the rewards in my clan games, and also the math that I do behind it, because I'm sure a lot of people just look at it and say, oh, this would be nice for me to have right now, which that's fine, but I like to do things strategically, and this is a guide to be able to do that. So the first thing that we have different tiers, so we'll go ahead and start the video and I'll walk you guys through it. So this clan games, the max was 50,000 points. We had some different, as you can see, I don't know if you guys know this, but the yellow text means that you get double the points for those type of challenges, which in this case was resource challenges. So that was nice, and our clan definitely killed the clan games this time. Shout out to Drew for finishing clan games in literally like 2 to 3 hours, so congrats to him. So we'll go ahead and jump right into picking out these rewards and start at the first tier and work our way up all the way to the last 6th tier. So the Supercell gives you, usually it's the same, but sometimes they mix it up. On the first tier, 20% of your clan castle capacity. So we have the option between the Dark Elixir and the Elixir, and I usually don't really ever even consider taking the gems, just because 5,400 Dark Elixir would cost way more than 20 gems. But if you don't have a problem looting, if you're really active and you need those gems, then by all means take those gems. I just never do, so I'm not really even going to cover that option in these videos. So our first option is the Dark Elixir, and basically we just have to compare that to the Elixir. So really, since obviously you can hold way more Dark Elixir, way more Elixir and gold in comparison to Dark Elixir, you kind of have to break it up into the percentage that this amount gives you in reference to your total amount in your storage. So since the Dark Elixir storage for Town Hall 11 can hold a maximum of 200,000 Dark Elixir, I broke it down, and 5,400, which is our option here, is actually 2.7% of that overall capacity of 200,000 Dark Elixir. And the 930,000 Elixir is actually 9.3% of the overall storage for the Elixir storage. So whenever I compare these, it kind of tells me, yeah, I do realize that Dark Elixir is harder to get, so if you want to take that for that reason, that's fine. But this is kind of why I do it percentage-wise, is because yes, it's harder to get, but that's why you are required to get as much. So it doesn't obviously cost 10 million Dark Elixir to upgrade something that costs less than that. So I don't really think of it like that, and I also think about it in the sense that if I go into a raid, I'll just say my average probably per raid would be around 300,000 300,000 Elixir gold and probably 3,000 Dark Elixir. So if I get 3,000 Dark Elixir per raid, then this is less than 2 raids. Well, this is like over 3 average raids for the Elixir, and this is just my personal instance, so you guys can kind of weigh that for yourself. But on this first tier, I would probably go with the Elixir. I think it's the biggest bang for your buck, and that would probably be my choice. So for the second tier, you have a couple different potion options, and then you have the wall rings. I love those training potions. They're really nice if you want to grind. So if you have the willpower to be on for 2 hours straight, use the full potion and get the full training potion out, then yeah, that's probably a pretty good option. But I broke down the wall ring and how good that would be and how much you're really getting out of a wall ring. So for a max Town Hall 12 wall, it costs 5 million either gold or elixir. So if you break that down, and it takes 5 rings, So that's actually 1 million of whichever elixir or gold that you're getting out of that ring. Since it takes 5 rings and it costs 5 million to upgrade, that's 1 million per ring. So I really look at this, and in my head I see 3 million elixir or 3 million gold as that first option. So that's pretty good, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that's probably what I will take, just because that's a pretty big lump of elixir or gold. I mean, it's even more than the third option we have there of the dark elixir gold. So I would probably definitely go with the wall rings here. This kind of depends on your town hall. If you guys have questions of how much a wall ring is getting you, how much it's being effective at your town hall, then let me know and I can do the math for you guys. I can't do them for every town hall, but I'm going to go ahead and select this, and this is kind of just a personal opinion, so go with whatever you want. On the third tier, we are again comparing the gold to the dark elixir, and the math comes out to be 18.6% is what the gold is in comparison to the overall storage for the gold, which is the 10 million for Town Hall 11. And this is all Town Hall 11. It really goes hand in hand with each Town Hall that I just did the calculations for Town Hall 11, but it really shouldn't matter. And then the 10,800 Dark Elixir is actually 5.4% of the overall capacity. So obviously 18.6 is over 3 times as much as the 5.4. So I am going to go ahead and go again with the gold and select that one for the third tier. So for this next tier, there's no math involved. It's just a personal preference. If you're really wanting to get your buildings done fastly, yeah, I'd probably go with that second option there. If you are rushed, you don't have max troops, you could go with the third option. I like that first option just because it gets your collectors boosted. That's 3 days that you're going to have them boosted. There's 3 of them. And the other ones, the second one, there's only 2. So if you're kind of in a time crunch for builders, I would probably go with the second one. But in my case, I am more on the opposite side. I pretty much always have 1 builder open for walls, so I don't really need that. And I'll probably go with the first option here just because that is going to be a nice chunk of change that I'm able to save up through those collectors being boosted. On this next tier, we have the Book of Fighting, the Book of Building, and then some training potions. And again, this is just pretty much a personal opinion. I am probably going to go with the training potion just because that's 5 of them. That's 5 hours of non-stop grinding that I'm going to be able to do. You're going to be able to save up and loot all kinds of resources. So this is really nice. I love those training potions, especially if you need them in war. But if you need to finish off, if you have all kinds of loot and you're just trying to finish off your buildings and your upgrades faster, then go with one of the first 2 options. That's just a personal preference. So I'm going to go ahead and probably pick the training potions here. And then the last one I want to say is a no-brainer. So obviously you're going to take one of the ruins. 10 wall rings is nice, probably around 10 million, but having that ruin you can use for walls or any buildings or what have you. So when comparing the gold and the elixir ruin, I would probably go with the elixir just because it's harder to get. People use more elixir, you use it for cooking your troops and what have you. Gold, usually when you go into a raid, usually there is more gold rather than elixir. So in my case, I am going to go with the elixir ruin and have that for my last option. Probably send my warden up another level, finish it off with a Book of Heroes from the last clan games. And here is my picks for this episode of Clan Games. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, if I need to clear up anything with you, help you out, feel free to leave a comment on this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you'd like for me to continue to make these on the average basis when there are Clan Games. And just remember that this is informational, that I'm not telling you to do this. It's just a suggestion. There's no best way to do things. It's all personal opinions, but this is what I find to be the most efficient. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This will be it for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow.